I just want to testify of what the Lord told me about the eclipse, and it's nothing scary, but on April 8th of this year, 2024, a lot of people were concerned about the earthquakes and the eclipse that was happening, and a lot of Christians were um, thinking that the rapture was going to happen. And anyway, they were thinking that, but I was asking the Lord about it because we jump to conclusions a lot of times, and we look at signs and wonders, and the Lord tells us not to do that. He tells us not to look at the signs and wonders, but to look up and look for Jesus. But I was talking to him and asking about it because as a Native American, the tribe that I'm affiliated with is the Navajo tribe, and a lot of our schools were closed out here on the reservation. Not closed, but a lot of students weren't at school on that day because they stay home and stay inside and close their blinds and stay quiet inside their home. But I don't follow that belief. But I was asking a lot of questions about it because I never did that when I was growing up either. But I did ask the Lord about all this, and He was telling me that He said, "Remember uh, when Moses was in Egypt and the 10 plagues?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well," he said, "those 10 plagues represent the gods of Egypt, and I used those gods against them so that they would know that Jesus, that God the Father is God, and that He's all powerful and almighty, and He can use those things against them. They're so-called gods." So he was reminding me when Jesus died, when He was crucified on the cross, there was a eclipse that lasted 3 hours. Also, there was an earthquake that split the ground open and broke rocks, and some of the graves were open, and the people who believed in Jesus, they were risen from the grave. Also, people saw them. And then in the temple, the veil inside the temple separating the holy place and the most holy place was torn from top to bottom. He was telling me that that the people nowadays still worship the earth. They worship the sun, the moon, the stars, and they believe in those kinds of things. And sometimes we worship our churches, just like the Pharisees and Sadducees. That temple was their whole life, and they were very, very afraid when they saw that veil torn. So Jesus, when He died, all those things happened just because He was crucified on the cross. He died, but He rose again on the third day, and He defeated all those things that happened on that day: the darkness, the sun being covered up, the moon covering the sun, the earth cracking open, and the veil being torn. So with all those things happening, I was asking the Lord about, what about all the Christians that are chasing chasing those things? And He just told me, that they're chasing signs and wonders instead of doing what He said. So when you see these things happening, don't be afraid. Just look up.